The first stage is identify. In this stage, the coach will come into the teacher's room and take video. The teacher and the coach will then watch the video independently. And finally, the teacher and the coach will get together and have a conversation in which the coach and the teacher collaboratively set a goal that will help improve student learning. So I have not been in a classroom by myself in about 4 years, give or take. Hopefully I generally look like I might know what I'm doing most of the time. That would be good too. 3 more minutes. 3 minutos más. Right now, happy that the filming is over. It was very interesting to see what I thought it would have looked like versus what it actually looked like. Looking forward to talking about it and hoping that I'll be able to take things away that would be useful in the event that I get to do this again. About 1 more minute. Un minuto más. I love how you started. I love how you started.
The other day I stopped into an Algebra 1 class. You were delivering a do now. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst lesson you've ever taught, and 10 being like the greatest lesson you've ever delivered in your entire life, how would you rate it?
I'd give it a 5. 2? Is double 2? 1 plus 1. What does double mean? Double means times 2. Is it plus 2? No, it's times 2. So if you have 3 cookies and you double the amount of cookies you have, what do you get? 6. If you triple, how many do you get? 9, because triple is times 3. If you quadruple, times 4, so you get 12. So double times 2.
So you mentioned that you would like to give students a chance to actually answer the questions. You also discussed the length of the questions themselves, as well as the students not really having a structure in place for referencing past work in order to facilitate completing the do now. What would your students be doing differently in those situations if you incorporated those into your do now?
I think the biggest thing would be I want them to be able to talk to each other and then share their thinking with me. I don't really have any way right now to get information by each student as to where they are with their learning. So having a way to kind of get that information from each one would be helpful. And I think it would help the students as well, especially because they're L's, to have a chance to kind of share their thinking prior to having to provide the answer to me.
Okay.
So could you look back in your notebook, flip the page, and see what you did yesterday? Yeah. Could that help you with these questions today?
So if we were to use that, what percentage of the class would you be looking to capture?
I mean, I'd want to capture 100%. It's not, I don't want anybody to opt out of doing math.
Okay.
They're in my class for a reason.
Yeah.
No one is choosing to take Algebra 1 as an elective.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That's not the world we live in.
Okay. So then if we were looking to capture 100% of students responding to the warm-up or the do now, over what time span would you like to capture that data?
I think if we did it for a minimum of 3 days, I think that would probably be enough time to kind of like enforce it as a habit.
Okay.
I think if we got 3 days in a row after that, it probably would continue.
Okay. Which is perfectly in line with most of the studies on habitual nature. 3 consecutive days becomes habit. All right. So if that's the case, we're talking about 100% of students responding to the warm-up, 3 days in a row, and capturing that data using clickers. Is that something that you would like to be your goal?
Yes. So if I get myself in the mindset of going in and trying this again, I am feeling like I would be better able to execute the warm-up with efficiency, not take half an hour, and be more intentional about what I was trying to do with the students. So that's a plus. The most helpful part is actually for me talking about it. So on the sheet, and you saw the sheet that I had taken notes on when I reviewed my own video, I had about 47,000 different ideas, because I get one idea and then I get another idea and then I write them all down, and then they're in different directions and sometimes in different colored pens. But in talking about it, which is, I guess, pretty common, I'm able to actually narrow my focus from 47,000 different ideas to one idea. So that's helpful, because in the classroom, of course, you might want to improve a bunch of different things, but realistically you can only do one at a time. So being able to come to the conclusion of what that one thing is incredibly useful. So working with a coach was a unique experience. I had thought going in that the coach would evaluate me on what it is that I had done in the classroom, but it turns out that actually the coaching process is super non-evaluative. The questions that the coach asked were designed to get me to think about my own instruction, and the coach was really just there to help me through that thought process. I would work with a coach again, knowing what goes into it, and I definitely would have a lot less hesitation in doing so, knowing that nothing was going to be kind of bad or mean or rude or any of those things. It would be just a positive experience designed to get me to think more deeply about what it is that I was doing.
The second stage is the learn stage. In this portion of the coaching cycle, the coach and the teacher, or coaches, and the teacher will make sure that the teacher understands the strategy. So we'll utilize things like checklists and strategies like modeling, so that the teacher can actually see the strategy in action. So that'll be in the room with students, or possibly in the room without students, just the teacher and the coach or coaches at the same time, or possibly even co-teaching.
And the third stage is improve. This is when the teacher tries it on their own. The coach will come back in to take another video, and the coach and the teacher then can look at that video again, either independently or together, to figure out whether or not the students met the goal that the coach and the teacher set during the first stage.